Jawn, tonight at 7. This series presents information based in part on theory and conjecture. The producer's purpose is to suggest some possible explanations, but not necessarily the only ones to the mysteries we will examine. Extraterrestrials, magic and witchcraft, missing persons, myths and monsters, lost civilizations, strange phenomena, and artificial intelligence used in the creation of music and entertainment. These and various other topics will be examined in depth as we invite you to our world of discovery. We, as always, are in search of the answers to those questions as yet unanswered. Jawn.
3 little frogs sitting on
That was the opening to
Oh,
really?
remember that show in Search of the Leonard Nimoy we did? Like Noah's Ark. You never saw it? That was the opening.
little frog sitting on a log. One of them fell in. Last little frog, he sat and thought, good thing they can swim. Jawn. 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 Jawn.
I got it going on down here.
3 little frogs sitting on a log. One burst into a
What was that cool
grin.
voice you had? What was that for?
One frog said to the other frog, wonder what's got into him. 2 little frogs sitting on a log. One laughed until he was red. Last little frog, he sat and thought, must have been something I said. Jawn. Jawn. Jawn.
Won't you do your first song from the CD? It's not me.
Other tuning.
Okay. That was my suggestion.
Shut that one down real quick.
Son of a preacher man. Who did that?
I'm the son of a preacher, man. Dusty Springfield.
Oh, it's us. We are live. We are back at it. Trying to see if I can play Dad's request in the standard tuning here. I've worn 100 hats, and every one a part of me just wanted to be that. Even wore sunglasses once, just isn't me. And I love fancy clothes. When I try 'em on, I try and strike the pose. Even my tailor knows just isn't me. Let's just pretend my torn blue jeans and tattered tees are remnants of a rainbow flowing like a silk robe. Let's say I'm in vogue, yeah, let's say I'm in vogue. I've tried talking tough, puffed out my chest, said, look here, you better listen up. It's even come to fisticuffs. Just isn't me. I've tried bending like a reed, just listening to what other people need. Been selfless without greed. Just isn't me. Let's just pretend my thoughtlessness and scattered brain are evidence of kindness. Please see through my blindness and take me as I am. Yeah, take me as I am. Now I've sat behind the drums, but I've lost count of the number of times. I've lost count of the number of times I just twiddled my thumbs. Just isn't me. I don't play a mean clarinet or dobro or piano. Sometimes the ukulele sings, but I don't play a mean anything. Really, just isn't me. Let's just pretend the instruments are figments of our own imagination. Anyone who plays them is in the orchestra, yeah, in the orchestra, in the orchestra, yeah, in the orchestra. You're in the orchestra. Even Kyle with his kazoo, you're in there. Well, there's one I haven't played very many times. That is the
Good start.
that's the lead song off my new record that is going to be available worldwide on my birthday this Sunday, according to everything I just looked at earlier. I didn't really know how it worked. I use a CD Baby to distribute it. And when I uploaded it, I knew it would take some time to get vetted and then distributed, and I didn't know. So it said release date, and I just put my birthday in there because it was a couple weeks out. And I went in and looked today. Apparently, all the streaming platforms have it, and they're waiting for the release date.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't know how. I didn't know if it was going to use the date I put in for anything, but apparently it is. So for my birthday, it's going to come out this
So
Sunday.
when you say come out, where does it come out?
You should be able to ask Alexa to play it.
What's the name of it?
Artificial.
Okay.
Capital A, capital R, capital T, Art Official. This is the record I made using this new AI technology they have. I just had to see how it worked and what it could do. And the day after I wrapped up the whole project and stopped playing around with it, the thing I used to make it came out with a new version that's way better.
Wow.
So maybe I will have to try it again to see, because the new stuff it can do. I watched a YouTube on it the other night and I was like, oh man, this technology is evolving fast.
Right.
And literally I was using version 4 and 4.5, and pretty much the day after I wrapped up the whole thing I did with it, version 5 dropped. With the banners changes everything. I'm like, well, version 4 already changed everything. What are you up to now? But
it's like when you buy a computer, you never look at another computer ad because you'll only be disappointed.
Right. It's if you're in the computer arts world or whatever, that is always the frustration. Even iPhone, you buy the new latest iPhone and the next day they drop the next one that has this thing you really want. You're like, what?
Yep.
But you're gonna love the looking at the new version Lex. It comes with a whole like studio interface with multi-tracks, and you can just highlight a section and be like, add a piano here. Like it gives you way more finite control. Well, Dad and Kyle, I gave them a copy of this record a couple of weeks ago and told them to listen to it because we would be talking about it on Jabberjawn the next Thursday, but then we didn't do that Jabberjawn. So I don't know if y'all have listened to it recently or if it's too far back in your memory to have anything to say about it or not, but
I have some things we could talk about, whether I have some memory of it. I don't remember a whole lot anyway.
No matter what, even if you'd listened to it earlier
I don't know what I
today.
had for breakfast.
Right.
So that's not a problem. But I do have, like, the reason I asked you to play that first song, I hope we all see the irony that this guy's over here saying, well, that isn't me, but the whole question is, who the hell are you? And,
a good question.
And AI does nothing but.
We got a
Are
bug
you
flying
swinging
around.
with me?
You too. I told you I'm going to separate you.
I'm not going to put up with it.
I will separate
Take a
you.
swing at me, you're in a lot of trouble. I'll
I want
tell
you
you
to
that
get
right.
bit.
Huh?
I don't want that thing to bite you.
What thing?
It's something flying around you.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
He didn't fall for that last time. He's not falling for it
I
this
don't think
time.
You better be careful over there. I'm gonna keep my eye on you tonight. But the irony of that question is, it isn't me, and then you put all this AI stuff to confuse the purists out there that want to know who you are, and I don't think this AI stuff does anything but confuse that question.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's not you, then who are you? Because we now, after that first song, we know what he's not,
It's a good.
which I disagree with, by the way.
Which?
Well, that whole thing, you got this streak in you of thinking, and I think you might be sincere in thinking that you're kind of well, in some neighborhoods we'd call him a pansy. I've heard that term used.
In some neighborhoods, huh?
Well, yeah, where they have
One-
pansies.
One thing, every time I ask anybody if they know Nathan, they go, yeah, he thinks he's a pansy.
Oh, I know who said it. It was that Bondi woman, that real pretty girl comes on the Senate and makes a fool of herself. But she's a real nice lady. But yeah, she called somebody a pansy the other day. I thought that was funny. So I just called my son.
It's a good word. It's a good word.
I think you are a very gentle person, and but I do think there's a guy back there that's going to stand up at some point, and that's back there because you're a Moore.
Are you referencing the puffed out my chest verse, or a more general sense of things?
That one and the earlier one about not complaining or something. Just the way you do your. You don't do anything mean when you're talking about playing your instruments. And the whole thing about playing the instruments is the fact that you are not a natural born musician. You've had to work hard for those, and you're speaking to those people, and that's a good thing that you're doing. I like that. But I'm not being critical of anything except that I just said you're not a pansy.
Right.
It'd be different if I said you are a pansy.
Like you just did.
That would be a lot different.
There's a parentheses in there somewhere. There's a really cunning use of
You didn't get the
parentheses.
comma? I'm sorry.
Didn't you have the same conversation when he was like 17? You gotta stop being a pansy.
You're not a pansy, son. You are not a pansy.
Get out there.
You are
Get
not.
out there and play right tackle on the little league.
Boy, I was a pansy when it came to my football career. That's for sure.
Well, now,
Holy
see,
moly.
again, it's just not,
All my dreams of being the star quarterback or wide receiver, they took one look at me, put me on the front line. I lasted 2 practices, I think. My move was when they hiked the ball, I would fall down and become a speed bump that they would trip over. I would trip them. Oh, that got them. That got them and me gone.
it just wasn't you.
It just wasn't me. Just isn't me, Coach. Just isn't me. Y'all need water. Y'all look like you need some water.
I'm not too sure that those guys that are cheerleading might not have a good angle.
Right. Yeah, I could have done that.
You'd have been good at writing cheers.
Would you rather be out on a football field getting hit and hurt, or standing there holding the cheerleader up with your hand and she's sitting up there and, oh my goodness, I made some wrong decisions in my life.
I'm no pansy.
There you go, I'll be for a while.
The thing that I think the thing that messes with my brain listening to it, like I would have no idea it was AI if you hadn't told me.
Mm-hmm.
If we had just come and said, "Man, Kyle, you don't know what I've been doing at night. You know, Lex and some friends have been coming over, and we had just had a good time. I didn't tell you, but here it is." I would have no clue.
Mm-hmm.
Because it still sound. I mean, the songs are yours. They sound like yours. It was weird hearing it. Just how not fragile. What's the right word? Like I've been listening to the CD a lot, and now it's a very different sound stripped down with you doing it by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the album is like. And I don't know how to just make this sound that's as good as I want to make it sound like. It reminds me of something you'd go to like I remember when I was first getting into music, and you'd go over to somebody's house. And if they had pulled that out and said, "Man, have you ever heard this album? Like old album from the '70s on the Tacoma label or something?" Nathan Moore, you're like, "Man, you have that?" Like it'd be like it never really was the most popular thing in the world, but all the cool people would have it. It's got a really nice, like some of the one song with the strings on it. I can't remember what it is now. Oh my gosh, it's got a really nice part with some strings. That sounds so good.
The stripped down song with the piano.
Yeah.
So if you see me, I hope you see me.
That's one of my
shine.
favorites. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
2 songs made me cry when I listened to them the first time.
Well, you see, that's a good sign.
That and this other one, I finally had to tell myself, why are you still crying for this damn song? Stop. You're crying out of memory now, not out of. This song can't make you sad every
You're
single.
not really crying.
No, as long as it's you, that is absolutely beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Which one?
As long as it's you.
Oh, that's the
I mean, that
prettiest love
just
song I've
hit
heard.
me and slapped my face and grabbed me when I first heard that.
Yeah.
That and Shine Like Sunlight. The one with Percy's favorite toys are sticks. That cracks me up. I love that one.
Get us out of here.
Yeah, that is so cool. That's such a great song. All the choruses are just. I mean, the lyrics get you going, but the choruses are just like beautiful sounding. I love it. On the way the music kicks in. But that's one thing when you do it.
It is such a good feeling.
That is one thing when you do it separately. You don't have when you're doing the chorus. You don't have that all the stuff they can add into it that really. I mean, it's just still your voice, but lifts your voice up a little bit or something.
It's funny because when I'm singing by myself, I've always heard a lot of that stuff in my head, and to me, like as a songwriter, like. I hear the bigger production in my imagination like I did when I wrote it. And so I always try to do all that stuff with my voice or with my posture or with the guitar or with my foot stomping or whatever I can do by myself.
Right.
And the funny thing is singing to these tracks is one of the easiest things I've ever done before because the production was doing all that work.
Right.
I didn't have to sell the chorus as a
Right.
bigger thing with my voice or anything. It was just almost effortless to sing to those tracks because it was doing all the theater and I just got to tell the story.
Right.
It was really
The
revelation.
one song you're singing, and then you're also singing the chorus with yourself sort of in the background. That's really cool too.
I did add some guitars and different things whenever I felt it needed it, or other vocals to support. And a lot of times the AI vocals were a little weird, and so
AI vocals.
like some of the background voices are AI, but a lot of them are me because.
Now you cast doubt on the sound of your voice at that point.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, people that want to listen to you want to hear your voice. They don't want to hear an AI.
Oh no, I just mean like the ooze or anyone that's like the background vocals that are
You
accompanying.
better be clear on that.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
All lead vocal. My mom was, when she first played it, she was like, I think she genuinely thought, she was like, why does your voice sound so much better with AI? Which was
sweet and also a real stab at the last 10 years of the records I've made. But
Why does this one sound so good?
but I think she thought that AI was doing something to my voice to like making it.
I bet that if I'm thinking what she might be hearing, I think it. One thing it does is makes it softer. Those notes that you're here floating around behind you kind of soften it and make it more easily listened to, as opposed to hearing Dylan doing a song by himself versus a full band behind him. You don't get that impact the same, which is another thing. How are you dealing with the criticism of your fans that you already have that think you're selling out to the system and would rather hear your, like if I go to a concert, and I think Kyle has mentioned it, some of your performances, just you with a guitar, or and maybe just Kyle with the bass, you could jump in and say, but it's you and it's more personal, and I feel like you're losing something with the AI in terms of that, because they don't know where to stop. Just like with the voice, is that your voice or is it not? Or I don't know anything about AI, but if you're telling me it's playing the violin, I bet it can do a good voice too. So, I think people want the real thing, and they don't feel like they're getting it with AI, and that's a general criticism, but I think you have to deal with it, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see there was definitely a backlash when I was making it from my immediate community, but it'll be interesting to see how much there is or what the reaction is when I release it and start marketing it on I'll get you some water.
But is that their dislike of AI or their dislike of the music? I don't see how anybody would listen to it. Like if you didn't say it was AI, I don't think any of them would. Who would say, "What are you doing playing with a band for? Like, you need to do stuff by yourself."
That's a good point.
Well, let me ask you this question: why do you think? I mean, we all know the famous controversy when Dylan went electric. I mean, he's probably the most famous guy with a guitar singing songs that were changing the world and hitting people's hearts. And when he went electric at Newport, famously one of the most controversial things, why didn't he ever go back? Why do you think, as a fan of Dylan, why didn't he never put out another solo acoustic record again?
Never? I didn't know that.
Not really. There was another side, but basically...
The times they were changing.
I mean, the song is still a song.
No, I want... I
To
dropped
me,
something.
and I'm not even, I mean, I'm a fan, but I'm not like a fan, but
Oh, bless you. Of Dylan?
Thank you.
Thanks, babe.
to me, he would just keep
Maybe he
doing
thought
it.
he had done that.
Yeah, because the song is still the song.
You're talking about Dylan here?
Yeah, you don't take away the meaning of the beautiful song, structure of it, musically or lyrically or both. You know, none of that goes away the more instruments you add to it. In my opinion, I think it just sweetens the deal. And in terms of this whole thing, like anybody could hire a band and to come in and sing background vocals, and they don't sound like you, and they don't play like you, and all this other kind of stuff. But that's crazy, that costs a lot of money. I mean, just the reality of something like that is, nuts, and self-producing everything. I mean, it's just a whole other world when you listen to really well-produced albums, I think, of how it gets there,
Well, yeah, I hear you there. The thing I look at along those same lines, though, is that the idea being that when you're, I don't know how to say it, thinking about country music, I have always complained that it went from being the old-timey country music, which I grew up with, which was not old-timey at all. It was Nashville taking over. But they were playing Merle Haggard and Willie Nelson early, But then it got transitioned into the new country when they came in with all the artificial stuff, and everything started sounding the same. And
Pop.
and it got that. It's not AI, but it might as well. The problem is the same. It doesn't sound pure, and it sounds overproduced and sounds too not really me.
Do you think my record sounds like that?
Well, I'm thinking that's what some people are afraid of.
See,
I'm not making.
I
I don't think I know enough about music to. I mean, it just sounds like music to me. But I can't pick out things like other.
Because there is
people
an
do.
AI record I could have made that definitely would have felt like that.
Yeah. Well, I was going to
like-
want to pursue that because you were talking about how AI could make one sound country and one sound this and that. But what did you do with it? Did you make it sound? Any of them say? Make it a country sound? Because I did hear one pedal steel, but not a whole lot.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I did have a lot of control over it with the text prompts and stuff, but for the most part, it was a lot about. A couple of times the text prompt really. There's one funny version that the song "Blessed Porcupine." I really wanted to do that song, and I put it in, and I just listened to its immediate thing without a text prompt, and I was like, no. Then I tried different text prompts, kept sending me these versions back, and I probably generated 30 versions of it, and none of them felt right. I was like, no, why can't you do this? And it would get the chords wrong. And then in a moment of frustration, I just typed in 1940s Bulgarian music. And I had no idea what I was even talking about. But the next version it gave me with that tech, and I was just being stupid. I was just like,
Yeah.
it was just sort of a moment of frustration. I was like, 1940s Bulgarian. And that version is the one. I was like, nailed it. That's the one. That's it.
Well-
so every version of it, it would, if it gave me back something that just sounded like I couldn't relate to it, or I never lived with anything I didn't love, and I could change the prompts and be like, make it more country, or I want like the Shining Like Sunlight was like just piano and strings, really sort of telling it what I wanted, and then
Gotcha.
and 90% or a good portion of the iterations would be like, Nathan, what are you doing? Like that would be that. Like it would be music I couldn't relate. It's so easy to just be like 80s dance or 90s or any of these things, and all of a sudden it's like a grunge band.
Well, that's what I was wondering, because every song on there. Well, I didn't know. I don't know how it works, but I didn't know you were doing all this prompt. I thought they just listened to what you sent them and somehow captured the emotion and the feeling. So I didn't know you were actually had to fine tune it, because I was like, it can't be emotional. They can't hear it. It can't be an emotional machine. But the music is just. I think it's, like I said, if I didn't know it was AI, I would thought, you and Lex and.
Well, for a good,
friends.
a good portion of them, because the way it works, if you're just tuning in or haven't heard any of these explanations, is I upload audio of my song, and then it does a cover of that audio. So if I sent in audio that was like, everybody loves making music, then the version would come back would go. It could be a horn doing it or whatever, but it's going to follow my music.
Right.
It doesn't take liberties like that. It's trying to do a cover true to what I send. And a lot of my upload audio was full productions that I'd done here in the basement. So like I had drums already. Like I was basically, it wasn't just an acoustic version, and it was adding everything. A lot of the songs were based on full-on demos that I had put a lot of work into and fleshed out. So I was giving it pretty pretty detailed blueprints of what I was looking for, and it would just give me a professional sounding version of all that.
Right.
Like that, even on the song you asked for, Just Isn't Me, Lex played bass on the demo.
Yeah,
And
I
the
gotta say-
version that's on the record does exactly what Lex did, and that bass part was a revelation when we were working together. It was a whole story. He was doing all these things, and then at one point we had a conversation. Well, what if we just try this? And then he did that, and we were like, yes. And
Yeah, and that robot ripped my bass line off.
100%.
Gave me no credit. It's playing it note for note, just about the entire song.
Mm-hmm. But if you had played, if we hadn't had that revelatory moment, or if we'd used one of your earlier bass lines, the AI result would have been completely different. It honored the part that we told it to play on the bass. So
It's really like the ultimate wedding band, and you could, sure, if you wanted to be some kind of Cuban version of it, yeah, okay, we could do that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, obviously you want to stop. You want to work with those musicians to bring your song to life. You still want it to be your sound. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, no, we're not doing a '90s grunge version of this. We could.
And earlier
Really
on in the process, there was a part of me that was thinking that the record that I would put out, just as an example for people that are curious about it, as a conversation starter and people being able to see what it's capable of, I was really thinking I would probably just put like a smorgasbord out of like, because there was some I was like 1920s jazz in Paris, or like a weird jug band from a dystopian Oklahoma, you know, like all these, and I love some of that stuff. They're more like novelties, and I thought I would just put an assortment together of like here's an exploration of the possibilities, but then as I got deeper into the process, a record bloomed, like a genuine record bloomed out of it. And half the songs are brand new, like written right before I started this, and they just isn't me. There was no songs are on there that I wrote after I started playing with this technology. So I didn't write any songs for the record, but the 5 songs I'd written right before I found out about this and went in all made it onto the record. So it at the end of the day, it sort of became an actual record where I felt like these are my new songs. This is sort of what I want to say right now, and it feels like you know, it was just sort of neat because there was a good few weeks there where I thought, well, we'll just pick the fun ones or whatever, and a little flavor of this, like here's a country band, here's a rock song, here's a jazz, and that, you know, that would have been a fun thing too, but that wouldn't have been necessarily a real record. That would have just been like a sampler of the possibilities. But then as it went on, these songs started grouping together. It was like looking under a magnifying or a microscope and watching life. Like certain ones glommed onto each other, and then there was like 5, or like, oh, we want to beat a record together, and then like, all right, well, which songs? And then at the end of the day, I felt like it was an actual record, not just a thing, not just a sampler of the possibilities.
Now, how old is Shining Like Sunlight?
It's pretty new.
But has there been acoustic versions?
I did. I think I played it at that show you came to in Harrisonburg, so it's at least that old.
Okay. Because I think it was that song I played for Stephanie, and she was like, "Oh my God, I recorded a version of you. I have a version of that I thought you would love this song." I was like, "Where'd you get it from? Is it on record or is it on?" Maybe it wasn't that one. Which song was it?
Did she get a video?
There are a couple on there that are older songs that like "Get Us Out of Here."
Maybe is that the one right
Was
before
it at
it?
the show?
Yeah, that's the
She
one right
recorded
before it. Yeah, no, it probably was "Get Us Out of Here" because I played "Get Us Out of Here," "Shining Like Sunlight" as long as it's you. So
but
maybe
back to that question I asked you, Dad. Like, why do you think Dylan never went back to just playing by himself and his guitar for the next 40 years? Even though that's why all of his fans loved him for that. and they were betrayed when he went. But why didn't he didn't even really mix it up? He didn't go like, all right, well, here's one for you and one for you, like from Blood on the Tracks on.
Well, I don't think he was doing it for his fans. He was doing it for himself, and he was just growing. So he saw himself, why would you want to go back and be 17 again? Well, he's evolving, and he continued to evolve. He didn't do as much hardcore rock and roll either. He got back into, as he got older, he didn't keep playing the same rock and roll style either. He slowed down, but he kept the stuff he liked, and that's what he did. That's my answer to that question. He was just growing into what he wanted to be, and he wasn't doing the electric because of anybody else. He was doing it because he wanted to do it.
This is probably an old theory, but I just read about this yesterday, talking about that he never had a motorcycle wreck, that he was just so burned out. His management and his family said, go to Woodstock, drop out for 18 months, whatever, and that's when he was hanging out with the band. And they said he never, when he came back, he was more country, he wasn't like the railroad man anymore. He had like the cowboy hats and the big jackets and stuff. And they said he was just so coked up and speeding around all the time that he was like basically just, he was going to die. He was just burning himself out. So who knows if this is true? So they faked the motorcycle accident to say, he can't perform for a while. Which is,
he wouldn't have to field all those questions
Right.
about why he was taking a break
Right.
and all that. I love a good conspiracy theory.
but they said too, when he came back from that, he was a totally different performer, different style of dressing, and, the face, the white paint on his face and all that type of stuff, just, I guess you
Well,
did.
everybody changes as you grow.
Yep.
You think about how you behave. Now, of course, you haven't changed. You're an anachronism.
His hair changed.
There you go. But he has to go out and buy chemicals to do it.
See, I don't even see it. Apparently,
You don't see there's orange now?
Oh man.
Lex asked Kyle if he dyed his hair. Is it a secret?
No.
And yes, you
Is
did.
it a secret? Like,
It's funny. When I first moved down here, I worked from home for a year. This is like 2019. I had not really long, but I had long hair there. And I got laid off, and I thought, man, whatever. So they gave me like a year's salary. So I just lived for like a year. And so I thought, I'm just going to dye my hair blonde, just for the hell of it. So I went and bought the hair dye, and like the next day I got a job offer. And I was like, oh man, I'm so glad I didn't dye my hair. And I'm going there with like this long blonde hair. So I got the job. So then I just found it in the kitchen, in the bathroom cabinet. So we went to the beach, and I said, hey, let's dye my hair. And
Wait, the same stuff you used back then?
because I never opened it.
Oh, I see.
I bought like a Clarel or whatever the hair, whatever it was called. So it's just been sitting there for 6 years. I hate to waste stuff, so.
You had to put on the gloves.
Stephanie did it for me. She did all that. I just stood there, getting that big, nice outdoor shower at the beach. Man, it was nice.
You do look good.
And at the beach, look what we got at the
Oh,
beach.
is that taffy?
Saltwater taffy.
Oh my goodness! I put in a special. I heard he was going to the beach. I was like, if you could please bring me back some saltwater taffy.
And for Lex and Steve, I got candy that is also an instrument. You can blow into it, I
Oh,
think.
it's a whistle. I
Yeah.
remember those. Oh, thank you for the
Lex,
taffy.
here's yours.
Look at that packaging.
it's a whistle.
You gotta love
I
that.
love that's so old school.
And then
Sugar Planet. That's where you went.
And then I was cleaning out my liquor cabinet, and this just cracked me up that I found this, what it's called.
Oh, the Kraken.
We were just talking about, I don't know if you like that, but it's
Black
yours.
spiced rum.
Because remember, like a couple weeks ago, we were talking about the song, we used the term Kraken in it.
There it is. I love it.
Yeah, Candyland or whatever that place is called is quite quite a.
Well, thank you. How do these work?
I think it's sort of like this thing, the kazoo.
You just, I don't know.
You probably actually blow into it though. No, it'll be once you open it.
What's up?
And then the funny, I remember these from being a kid. Like, eventually, if you suck on it too long, it'll stop making sound,
Oh,
and you
no.
can't bite into it, or it'll. Yeah,
Well, I'm gonna
it's a little
do this
bit
in private.
because I'm one of those. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Tootsie
Right.
Pop? 1, 2, 3. It takes 3 licks to get. So those whistles are always really hard on me because my natural tendency is just to eat it, just to chomp down. I wish my teeth had stayed strong because one of my favorite things to do is like gobstoppers and fireballs, biting into hard Jolly Ranchers. I love sugary, hard to get through things between my teeth.
I think if you ever get really famous, well, you don't have to be really famous, but if you ever write your autobiography, I think it should be titled, I wish my teeth had stayed strong. Nathan Moore, I wish my teeth had stayed
A
strong.
memoir.
That'd be a good t-shirt. Nathan Moore, I wish my teeth had stayed strong.
I wish mine had stayed.
Right. So,
If I wasn't such a pansy, my teeth would have stayed strong.
a memoir. One thing I'm sort of curious about my new record is that I know like the people that love me the most. I mean, some of them actually like, it's sort of 50-50. Like a lot, there's some people that have had a blast with this stuff because they're so happy to finally hear my songs with reasonable drums, like with actual production, because for the last 20 years almost I've been trying to make these big productions all by myself and not really know what I'm doing the whole step of the way and every step of the way and using drum loops and all these little things to get it up there, but at the same time not knowing what I'm doing. Like my buddy Jay, when he was listening to it, he's like, it's just cool to hear like real drums.
Right.
Like and from a certain standpoint, even though it's AI, it was like the first time,
Right.
Except for when I'm playing with Surprising Mr. Davis or something like that. But he knows my amateur recordings. But what I wanted to say is, like, 2 things that I feel like is a real impasse for just ordinary people is solo acoustic stuff is not people's favorite stuff. Like, a lot of people love it, but they're a minority. Like that's why if you look at the Billboard 100, there's like 2 solo acoustic songs that were ever on it. You got Tracy Chapman, Fast Car.
I was just gonna say that. Oh my gosh,
Yep.
no doubt.
And that might be the only one. Like, name one other top 100 hit that was a solo acoustic guitar. Like, that doesn't really exist.
What
It's
about
a
that?
novelty if
Yeah.
it does. There's Tracy Chapman, Fast Car.
There's that one that's like by that group, but they're like a duo, and it's like more than words is all it ever needs.
See, we don't know that.
Yeah, see, so it's not popular enough.
It didn't make it into the collective
It
consciousness.
wasn't that popular.
So like so solo acoustic doesn't have that very wide appeal, and amateur recordings, whether people know it or not, are a big impasse. Like, there's something about even a layman can tell this isn't like the music they hear on the radio. There's just something, their spidey senses get triggered. Like, what is this we're listening to? And all of my records for the last 20 years have been sort of in that category where, whereas this, I'm almost more curious about people that have never heard my songs before. If you're at a party and one of these tracks comes on, it's not going to hit you like an amateur recording. It's not going to hit you. It's just going to be a song, and removing that obstacle, that barrier between their ears and heart and my song, is a little exciting to me because they just won't know the difference.
Well, that was one thing I thought about this discussion is that my opinion doesn't really mean a whole lot in the things I've said because I'm not your demographic anymore. And you're not trying to appeal to a 77-year-old man. You're trying to appeal to the market today, which I don't know anything about or like what I do know about it.
I probably know just a little more than you.
Well, no, I don't think so. You keep up with that stuff. You like the whole,
It works.
Sorry, I didn't think of it.
You know, it's. But I was, so my opinions aren't necessarily valid, but I can hear what you're saying there. That may, in other words, there's still going to be that debate with your purest fans, but the other people in the world have never even heard you before. So that argument really is moot in some ways because that's not the real issue when you get right down to it.
Mm-hmm.
But the next issue is how are you going to get it out there to be heard?
Well, I'm going to do what I can. I really had some fun making these promo videos that you'll start seeing on your Facebook and stuff starting Monday as I promote the record. I took our guest room and set up green screens everywhere, and the whole ad campaign I've created for the release of the record uses the outtakes, the songs that didn't make the record. And I made these, they're all a minute long, so they could be on reels and shorts. And the whole campaign is, this song is not on Nathan Moore's new record, Artificial. And so you hear 60 seconds of this song, and it talks about how I used AI to make this record. And then it ends with, like he did with this song here, which is definitely not on his new record. And then it shows the record now streaming everywhere. So it's going to be like a bunch of the songs that didn't make it is the ad campaign for the record,
Wow.
which is a little silly, but I don't know. It sort of serves different purposes too. People get that little sampler pack that we were talking
Right.
about, being able to hear the possibilities, and maybe drives a little traffic to my website where you can hear the full versions of those songs, and hopefully people
So
will
do people
go
have to buy
people-
it, or they can just listen to it?
They'll be able to buy it on the website, but that doesn't really happen anymore.
Well,
The days of that are gone. That's
what I was thinking. I mean, I'm still buying records and stuff.
yeah, no physical copies.
Like, so does that does that feel different not having any physical copies, or that's just the way it is now?
Been used to that for a while. It's all streaming these days.
Yep.
God, I just can't
See,
imagine.
I don't even fish that stream.
Right. But you listen to Alexa.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Y'all had a falling out? I'm
Yeah.
noticing, I'm detecting some tension.
She's been real bad lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gotten real pouty. Yeah,
Siri's the same way, I gotta say. Siri is so upset over the whole chat GPT and stuff that it seems like she's given up on life a little bit.
yeah, I'm not impressed with her.
I'm just like, hey, what time is it? She's like, I can't help you with that right now. I'm just like, oh, you can't. Just defeated. I feel for her. I want to.
No.
I give Siri a hug if I could. She is hurting.
Well, Lex, you might know since you have kids of the proper age. Like when I was a kid, or even now, if I go over to somebody's house, I want to flip through their records and CDs. How do kids know what people are
That's
listening
true.
to
We don't
now?
have those signs of who we are.
Yeah, like, oh, you got this album, you like this. I mean, do they take each other's phones and scroll through it to see all the songs? How do they?
They share it with each other.
Or does everybody just have everything now?
In streaming, you can just
Yeah.
send a link to the song, or,
Definitely like Spotify playlists or the new mixtape.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a legit thing. I see people on Facebook sharing a play. My buddy Dennis Cook does it all the time. Like, here's a Spotify playlist I made, and it's just like the old mixtape
Oh,
vibes.
wow, okay.
So it's sort of fun.
And quality's good. It's not like the older internet.
So is
It's
it
all
so?
compressed. It's high quality audio nowadays.
So is it still romantic if you make somebody a mix and send it to them on the phone?
Well, depends on what kind of person they are.
Is it still what?
Like romantic, like to make somebody a mixtape or to give somebody an album. Like, man, I was playing this album. I know you liked it. Here, I bought you a copy. Oh, thank you.
You just send them a. Yeah, I mean, if you sent me a link to a playlist you made just for me, I would appreciate that.
Well, I think you're weird.
But do people still do that, you think? Is that a romantic thing to do? Like, remember making the covers?
Yeah, I mean, it's never going to be like that.
Kids don't know what they're missing. But I guess now, too, if somebody plays something you want to hear it, you just say, what's it called? And you just type it in. It's not like you got to go find it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But so if people, like, because I'm totally ignorant about all this stuff. So it comes out Sunday. People can go to these sites and just listen to it. They don't have, it's just
Yeah,
like
wherever
free.
you are, if you're on Spotify or YouTube or Apple
now that
Music.
goes back to another question. How in the hell do you make any money off of that?
You don't. Yeah.
How do musicians
But, you know,
make money?
just to be fair, you know, like, it's not that you.
You can.
I mean, if I was going to say no one ever made money off records, but obviously that's not true. But you know, a lot of times when people got the record deal back in the day, that was just debt to them. Like the record label loaned them the $200,000 it cost to make the record, and then they had to recoup that. Then if it was a hit, they would start to make money. But people that weren't famous never made money off their records. And if you're famous, you're making money some way or another. So that math isn't really that different. You know, like Taylor Swift is making money. Even though streaming is the paradigm she lives in as well.
Now, do you understand, like, that is what it was, like, the record company would pay all that money for you to record and go out and tour, and you paid him back. He didn't really pay anything to make this, so he's not looking to recover his losses from it.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of the another aspect of this, because no matter what, if I wanted to make a record with that level of production, it would, you know, at the least it would be like 50 grand. And so that's just definitely an interesting part of the equation.
Sure.
Like when I was doing this interview, we were talking for a second. I was like, do you think, I mean, if you look at all your record collection, very few of those records were made for less than like 100 grand, probably at the least. If you're talking about a real record, you know,
There
Bob
are
Dylan.
some exceptions that are self-produced, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
mostly.
But even the cost of printing the records and the sleeves and you know,
The
all that
marketing,
stuff.
distribution to the stores. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of bands that never get out of debt with their record label. So there's just a lot of things going on with those questions.
Well, it's kind of like you were talking to me one day over there, and it's kind of like the golf thing, where the golfers, you see that money all that they're making, but that's 60 people.
Right.
Or there's 6,000 golfers out there not staying in motels and just trying to make ends meet and having to skip breakfast and all that. So, you know, it's just like you're saying, for every one guy that's making money off records, there's 20,000.
There's the rest of us.
There's everybody else that's out there just still having to travel and make the music and make sounds.
I mean, I still have about 800 Hippie Fiasco Rides Again CDs under the porch over there. I never got that money back. But a lot of that too is tour. I'm not touring, and that's where bands make their money, and that's where you can still sell merch because people like to go home with something. So if I was on the road, I probably would print CDs, and I probably would make a little money off that, but most of the money would be from the ticket sales and that kind of stuff.
Now, do you have like if you look at all these sites, do you have any way of keeping track of how many people listen to it or down or whatever you do to it?
I
or-
will. I'll be able to see all that. I probably won't look because I'll get sad. But you never know. Like
What's
like when
that
I
one
went,
song you have 64 likes? What is that?
my buddy. I don't know if we talked about this, but my buddy Jay is touring with this band called Camp, CAAMP, and they had a couple of days off in Charlottesville a couple weeks ago, and I drove over the mountain to visit with him and played him some of this record because I wanted his professional opinion on it. And it meant a lot to me to share it with him, and he was very sweetly supportive. And but the band he's touring with is 2 tour buses, 3 semis. He's playing to tens of thousands of people a night, playing guitar with this band, and their entire career happened because they got on the right Spotify playlist a few, like back in 2016 or something. Like there's some people that curate these playlists that are listened to by millions of people, and so when they come out with a new playlist, everybody just listens to it. And one of their songs made it onto one of those playlists, and the next thing you know, overnight they were successful. And now my buddy's touring with them and with semis and stuff. So you just never know. Like, no, they didn't make money off Spotify, but they got a whole life. They got a career because of it. So there's always black swans flying all over the place. You just never know. Things can change real quick these days too because of all that. So it's a little bit of everything there. But who knows? As long as it's you, gets put on the right playlist. Who knows?
Who knows? I certainly don't.
I certainly don't.
I don't even know what I had for breakfast.
All that bottle of crack.
Yeah, that's part of my problem. There was a time it'd be empty now.
So is there like
Right.
so is there like does it drop like at midnight, or does it just various sites put it out at different times, or what?
I probably will just drop at midnight because they all have it now. They're just waiting for the release date.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Sunday, huh?
Yep. My 55th birthday.
55.
Yep.
Seems like you just had one.
I know, right?
Really?
I don't like this time going faster phenomenon. Is that a thing that just happens with age? You think Nana and Granddad felt that too, or is it a combination of technology and because technology has
No,
made
I think
life.
as you get older, time goes faster.
You do?
That Einstein proved that.
No, you do.
It was 2 days before he died, but he proved. Well, he didn't prove it, but he said it. But he said time is really moving fast these days.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but that is true. That the older you get, the faster time goes.
It shouldn't be like that.
Well, yeah.
It seems like an injustice.
But
There are times, though, even now, that time slows down.
Mm-hmm.
Like in 5 o'clock in the morning when you know you need another hour's sleep, but you can't get back to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems like you lay there for 3 days and it's 15 minutes.
Right.
So there's that going on, too.
It's also these chambers they have called work, where time just drags. You know,
Oh, right.
They put you in
There you
there for a
go.
while, and you're like, oh my God, it's like
Yeah,
it's 8:45. I can't believe it. I've been here for days.
that's exactly right. I had students that thought that my classes lasted for 3 weeks.
Can I step out and shave? I've got to come. I'll be right back. Do we get a shower break during this at all?
I need a change of pants.
Let's order a couple of pizzas. Come on.
Yeah, some things just take a long time, even though it's short on the clock. But yeah, it's a normal phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people.
So when this is released, as long as this technology stays, it'll be out there. People can find it, or they don't drop it off eventually or anything. It just stays.
I guess I probably have to keep paying to keep it up there.
Okay.
I don't know. I wonder how that works if I died suddenly, and in a year or two, if they stop. I'm not sure how. I guess it disappears eventually.
Wow.
It would be more satisfying if that wasn't the case.
Wait a minute,
Once you're in there, it just stays forever.
So people that release, because a friend of mine in Tennessee, her son's putting out something like this, a new album's coming out, but it's just, so if they don't keep paying a certain thing, it'll just be gone. If you don't, it's gone.
I'll get back to you on that.
God, that's
I feel like
scary.
that's true. I feel like it's like a yearly thing you pay.
Oh man.
Seems like it'd be related to how many times it was requested. Isn't that a variable that they use?
I'm not sure. I think as long as you pay the yearly thing, even if no one listens to it, it'll.
So you're paying
Stay up
you're
there.
paying for it to be on Spotify? Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
So anybody can do that?
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't-
You could put a record on Spotify.
You could actually,
Really?
Yeah, people have put fake music up there and made a lot of money.
It's true.
Wow.
Now does Spot, like if you get say you got like 3 weeks from now, like it's like, oh my God, you've got like 500,000 hits. Do you get any money from that, or
Yeah, pennies.
so somebody's keeping track of how much it's listened to?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you
God,
do get
it's
something,
so
but it's just not
crazy,
very much.
right?
Mm-hmm.
See, if it was me, I would want to. Well, I guess not really. All the stuff I used to mag as little zines and stuff, I didn't really care who had it. Yeah, but if it was music, I'd be like, man, I want to know who's listening. But I guess who knows that unless you stand outside the record store in the old days.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you buy? What'd you buy? Did you get my album? Get away, old man.
I don't even know how the Billboard 100 works anymore.
It's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would all be, based on those reporting in how many people have hit it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can get everybody out there to keep hitting it for you,
Yeah, just loop it. I remember when people were encouraging their fans to do that back in the day.
yeah.
Just like, loop our playlist, please. Loop our new record. Let us get the numbers up.
well, I'd like to personally request y'all to start looping Jabber Jawn.
Exactly.
I'm tired of seeing 14 people.
Yeah, let's get these numbers up.
If we can get over 100, I'd be real happy.
Is anybody writing in about their opinion or not? One of the I don't know why I just thought of this, but I just used the term "old man." This line is not funny at all, but I say it probably 100 times a day now, and it cracks me up. Have you seen that movie? God, no, it's Will Ferrell as a race car driver, and he's with the other guy.
Oh, yeah.
But his dad.
Talladega Nights.
Yeah, Talladega Nights, and his dad is like a wild man, and so he goes over and meets his dad, and he invites him over to the house for dinner, and his dad comes over, he's drunk and saying all this stuff, and his sons in the movie are like these cussing all the time, like disrespectful and stuff. So the father comes in, and one little kid said, "Hey, old man, how much you selling that weed for?" I just cracks me up. Like little 5-year-old boy, this guy there, "Hey, old man, how much you selling that weed for?"
That's a funny movie. It's a really funny movie. I like the little baby Jesus. You ever seen that movie?
I have. I'd like to see it again.
Will Ferrell's such a weird
I'm on fire. I'm
kind
on
of
fire.
humor.
You're not on fire. You're not on fire.
Will Ferrell's amazing.
And it's such a strange nerve he hits. He was always like that. Just like uncomfortable humor or whatever.
Yeah, Will Ferrell and Kyle remind me. They're in the same genre.
We're going streaking down at the quad. Come on.
There you go.
You think KFC's, what is it, KFC or Long John Silver still open when he gets in the car? You remember that part in Old School, whatever, when he's streaking and they pick him up, his wife picks him up and all her friends are with him. And they're all like, oh, and he goes, do you think KFC is still open?
We should have a little movie night over at Dad's and watch that movie together. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I'd like to have a movie night over there sometime. I saw something today I might start up. Looked pretty interesting. They said they have all these chapters now. A pair of women started it, and it's a book club, but they meet at someplace, and they sit around in a circle, and they read a book for an hour. They bring their own book, and they read a different book.
They're all reading different books?
They're all just sitting quietly in a circle reading a book.
This is a local thing or something?
No,
online?
this is a national
okay.
thing. And I thought that would, because reading's such a solitary thing, and it's just real interesting to, because book clubs usually you have a assignment. This thing, you don't have any assignment. You bring your own book, and then after an hour of reading, then they have a little socialization. And you might pick up a new book, or you might meet somebody, but I thought that's a pretty cool concept.
So this is a craze?
It started with two women in Connecticut or something. I don't have no idea where it was. I saw it on the morning. But there's like 60, there's chapters now. There's 2,000 chapters in 60 countries.
Wow.
Just by the media and everything. People like it, and people all over just love it. It's real popular.
That is
you
interesting.
could do it at a coffee shop or something. You could just take over one area back in there and just sit around and read for an hour, drink coffee, and then talk about it and go about. There's something about the social aspect of sharing that.
It sort of taps into something I feel like we've talked about before, but I got a little fascinated with it. I remember a couple of years back of the one thing I missed from my younger days was just having people around. Like now, whenever I have people around, it's like a social, and you feel so, like if you're hosting someone or you're visiting someone, it's sort of intense because you're hosting. You have to entertain them. You need anything, you have to engage them in conversation. Like you're visiting. It's the whole thing you're doing.
That's
but
one
when
of your
you're younger,
songs.
you go over to a friend's house and just start doing your own thing. Right. You change their thing on their TV or start playing a video game or something. You didn't need them. You just wanted to be in proximity. And there was just something that as you get older, you have a lot less of that, of just like people around you. Maybe that's part of the appeal, that because they're all just reading their own books.
I'm the first one to tell you that at our age, your social spectrum changes dramatically, and you're not seeing the same people you used to see, and unless you have an outlet like that, people go to a coffee shop, or they have a poker game or discussion group, and and I've done all those things, but when you get older, you just can't get out as much. And your friends aren't there, and they've passed on or moved on. You just don't have those opportunities. So I can see exactly where it's coming from. And there's that. You like to be around people, but you don't want to. This is perfect in the sense that it's not invasive, and you don't have to make a production or create it. But the only thing you can do is try to pick a cool book so they think you're cool.
Right.
Got my chapter book.
That's interesting that that's such an appealing craze to people.
Yeah. Because I've thought about, like for years I did the discussion groups. And I've been reading some of my old journals. Back here, I have a list of the people. It's amazing people that would come to those discussion groups, all kinds of different people, which I don't remember that, but that was really a fun time.
Yeah,
and you
really
used to come to a lot of them.
Yeah, for sure.
And they were all different because the people were different. And you just have a topic, and you just go around, and people would talk, and then so that was a really fun thing I did. But I miss that because I don't do anything like that anymore. And
except for this.
Well, with my health, I don't get out anymore too much at all, so I really miss that type of thing.
Michelle Boggs just chimed in. Hey, Michelle. She says one of my songs, Day of People, was her 5th most listened to song on Spotify a couple of years ago.
Oh, wow, that's
I
good.
love that. Renee, welcome to the show.
Hey, I actually wanted to go back to that question you asked about the popular acoustic song. Like, and we said the Tracy Chapman one, Fast Car. And I meant to mention that Heather Berry chimed in with Blackbird.
Mm-hmm. Is there nothing else in that one? It's definitely.
It's a good trivia question.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna put that on as soon as we're off air. I don't like. I I always talk about copyright strikes, but I realize now that all the things I've been calling copyright strikes, because a lot of times I'll get emails saying someone's claimed this music or whatever that you played during your show, and so you can't monetize this video. That's always the punishment I get. Well, I was doing one of these weird streams I've been doing lately. I call underwater radio, which is, I wouldn't recommend tuning in for that. It's really boring, but it's fun for me. But I was doing one over the weekend, and all of a sudden, in the middle of the stream, it got pulled off. It got shut down by YouTube.
What?
And I got my first real official copyright strike warning. I lost my official artist status. I appealed the thing, and they came back to me and were like, no, we looked into it, and you definitely broke the rules. And so right now I have to sit in the corner till January 2nd is when they'll remove my warning badge.
Right before the release of your album.
I know. I've lost my official musician status. This is the real deal.
What was it over?
I went to this website called archive.org that has all this video and music and stuff, and I thought because it was on there it would be safe for me to use it. And because it's underwater radio, I just wanted like footage of like fish and stuff like that. And one of the ones I grabbed off there was like a legit like BBC narrated by David Attenborough kind of things. And I had morphed it, and I had like overlays and stuff going on top of it. But that's, I think, what got me the hit. But midstream, like someone was listening to it while they were driving in their car and sent me a screenshot, and they're like, "Dope," and it was just like a black screen, violated community standards or something just taken off air midstream. Never happened before.
Wow.
I'm a little bit of a nervous wreck these days now that I got in actual trouble. It's like, oh no. Every little thing I do, because
How can they?
I don't know if more and more things are being added to that list every day. So I'm a little.
I mean, how does that work? How do they midstream, like
AI.
it's AI is looking for that all the time and
Scanning it.
yeah.
It's constantly scanning,
So-
and that was just video. So I mean, it was, or not saying just video. That was video. So it's matching that video to
Oh my God.
the other video in real time. It's
Well,
crazy.
It's so funny because I was thinking about that when I wrote that thing. 'Cause I copied word for word the way In Search of starts.
Oh gosh, here we go. Are we still on? I mean, people are commenting. So,
Yeah, we must be.
oh look, Foffy just posted an article that says, "Doing nothing with your favorite people is really, really good for you."
Oh, that's
There you
It's
go.
a whole article. Lex and I had this
That's the
conversation
beauty of
before
this
because
show.
I expressed this out loud because I was like talking about that from my youth, but I love that there's some science backing me up on this. So I was like, I just like having people around. I don't want to hang out with them. I just want you here. I just, and then if I do have something like, if I have a good one line, you bounce the idea off, but it's not like, oh, can I get you anything? And like having to keep the conversation going, and like visiting with people can be a little, it's
Right.
fun, but it can also be a whole thing when you'd rather just like have them around.
You'd rather just eat their food. Well, when you said something about going to somebody's house and changing the TV channel, so I am the type that if I get in your car and like it's too hot, I'll just sit there. If it's freezing, I'll just sit there. If I go to your house and the music's too loud, I mean, I won't change anything. And I have friends that'll come over and just like turn the music off, and I go like the AC set it different. I'm like, what the hell? Who comes? or like I'm in the car, like it's hot as hell in here, and they've closed all the AC vents and stuff. Like, who does that to somebody else's car? But people just seem fine doing it, you know. I moved all the stuff in your fridge because I couldn't get to something I wanted. Oh, okay, you know. But are any of y'all like that?
Want you to change your toilet paper?
Oh, he got some fresh toilet paper. Some fresh toilet paper.
I do so little visiting these days. I don't even know what my moves are anymore.
I remember one time we drove to North Carolina. It was me and my brother and 2 of his kids. And I was just sweating the whole time, just sweat pouring off of me. And we've been driving like maybe 2 hours, and finally I said, oh God, I don't know how y'all are standing in this car. God, it's so hot. We got to do something. They're like, we're not hot. You know, I'm like, God, it's like 1,000 degrees in this car. And this was summertime. My brother, somebody had turned the heated seat on. I didn't know it, so I thought the whole car was hot. So I'm just sitting there like this, my shirt was like stuck to me. I was basically just getting ready to drop out. My brother's like, it's not hot. Like, why didn't you say anything? I said, I thought y'all liked it. I didn't know what was going on. Please stop so I can get some water. I was like, God, so I guess I do need to speak up more.
I think you do. You need to assert yourself.
Oh man! But like, when you go to somebody's house, you just go over and like start messing around with stuff, change a TV channel or something.
I mean, I feel like those are all bygone memories of a different time.
It was Monday. I was listening to a CD and I was in the kitchen, and Stephanie came over to watch the football game. And all of a sudden, the music just goes off, and I go out there like, "What's going on?" Because I'm turning the game on. It's like, man, if that was me, I'd have turned the game on with the sound off until the record. She just like, you know, screw it, I'm turning the record off. And I'm like, what happened to the music? I don't hear any music anymore. It's sort of a sweet thing, but it's also sort of like, man, I would never do that. Like if I came over here and wanted to talk to you Friday and you were playing some music, I just wouldn't go turn the sound down. You know, let's talk. Like, no, you go turn the sound back up and talk louder.
What memories are you flashing on with those ideas? Did you have certain friends that you would go over and just do whatever you wanted in their house, like it was your own, like over Benny's or?
Well, I felt at home there, but I didn't go around messing with their stuff. You know,
Steve's going to make sure everything's hidden. You know?
hide everything. But definitely hide the bourbon. No, that wasn't my style. I didn't really hang around a lot of people that did that kind of stuff.
You probably had a lot of visitors when you lived on the river that would just come out for the river.
Oh yeah, I didn't have to be there.
Or if you were there, you could visit or not, but it was.
Oh yeah, it was just to visit, but it was usually just to, you know, socialize, to talk to each other and see how we're doing.
Now, like when you lived out there, was it understood if you came, you could just get some food or grab a drink or anything, or did people have to ask you, or were they?
They were welcome to anything in the refrigerator, but I didn't always have a whole lot in the refrigerator.
Hope you brought something.
Just a dead wren in the freezer.
Yeah, some people learn to bring their own beer, I guarantee you. But they were welcome to any I had. I never did the Bogart thing.
God, I haven't heard that term in a long time.
Remember those days? Good Lord. The Bogart days.
I told somebody yesterday, work was driving me crazy yesterday. I said, I just need to find me a hoochie mama to take me down to the river and pour champagne on me. And I started thinking, what's a hoochie mama? I had to look up what a hoochie mama was.
What'd you find out?
It's like a woman that just dresses provocatively and, you know, is hanging around, you know, all the time. And I was like, where did that term come from my brain? I need a hoochie mama.
Yeah, where did you come up with it?
I don't know.
It's got to be a song back there somewhere.
Well, I know it's a term.
I'd never heard it till this
Oh,
right now.
this is a good example. Catherine just chimed in. That's one of the reasons I like camping. There's a lot of just doing your own thing or nothing together.
Right.
That is true. It's really nice.
Well, that's like that song. You just wanted to hear her voice.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what she says. Just wanted to hear your voice. Just wanted to know you're there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get like that about 12, 14 times a day, but it quickly passes.
No, but
I do think that way too.
Mm-hmm.
I get lonely.
no, it let me know. Doesn't that start off with somebody that's real outgoing and stuff, but then when they get into a one-on-one situation, they sort of shut down or they're much more shy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was an interesting one because that was a song I wrote one day, and it was in an open tuning, so open tunings end up not getting played that much because you don't feel like retuning your guitar. But I remember I wrote it and sang it to Kether on the front porch, and when I got done the first time she heard it, she's like, "That's a hit." But then it just like never got played again because of the open tuning. So maybe once or twice, but no one ever thought of it. But I still had a demo of it, so I just threw it at the AI thing, and it came back. She's like, "See,
Yeah, that's
and
good."
And it was
Which one's that?
just let me know. I'm used to sidewalks, shouting down the passers-by. Used to doing backflips just to catch someone's eye. If you seen me in lights, you know I could be more dazzling than most. But I got almost no practice up this close. Hold me if you want to. Hold me or let me go. And that's a song that the
That's a good song there.
yeah.
Well, see, that's another thing. When I was listening to your CD, I needed to see the lyrics in front of me because there was a couple of them I couldn't understand all the words.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to follow along and get it better.
That's probably the saddest thing. I mean, you can get that stuff on Spotify and stuff, but it's so fun to hold the lyric book or the album cover, any of that kind of stuff. Definitely miss that.
Well, that is a good thing about the Google world. You know, when you go to a song, it always has the lyrics there for you to read. It's amazing some of those lyrics aren't the ones you thought about.
Uh-huh.
You know, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, that was another one of your lyrics that, like, the first couple of times I listened to it one way, then I started listening to it another way. It's like, are you broke? Are you fine? You know, how do you know something laughing if you're crying?
Mm-hmm.
So when I first listened to it, I was like broke. I was like, you're broken down, but no, you're fine. Then I started thinking, no, you don't have any money. You're broke, but then no. And then it'd be like, oh, you're fine. Like if somebody, so I was having all these different images of what the lyrics actually mean.
If you're ever wondering for one of my lyrics whether I meant it one way or the other, 9 out of 10 times it's both.
Okay.
All the above. That's probably one of my favorite things in writing is lines that can be interpreted multiple ways. I just get a little giddy. Sometimes you can change one word and you multiply the meanings. And I'm going to go for that. Magpie, good to see your face. So that song is very Guy Clark.
Guy Clark.
Guy Clark.
Well, this got my first guy. Oh, for $1 at the place, I found a Guy Clark CD and I found a Greg Brown CD.
Oh,
for $1.
wow. Which Greg Brown, do you know?
It's like sort of a reddish brown cover. He's got his head down playing the guitar on the front.
You don't remember what it's called? You know any songs on it?
I haven't even listened to it yet.
Oh,
I've been buying like
do you ever listen to
50 at a
him
time.
much?
The only time I listened, he had a bunch of his stuff that I listened when I was putting his CDs together. I listened to one of his. It was really good.
Oh, Greg Brown. It's one of my heroes. Have I told the whole story of how Dad turned me on to Greg Brown? I was living in Austin, Texas, back in the day of landlines, and he held the phone up to a recording he'd made on cassette off of NPR of Greg Brown.
I was in Vermont.
Ah,
For the only time I can ever say that. I went and stayed in Vermont and was listening to public radio one night. And this young guy named Greg Brown came on and nailed it.
so cool.
Yeah.
And so he played it just for holding the phone up to the thing, and I could tell. I was like, oh man, this is a whole thing. Went out and got some, and then he was, he wasn't like Bob Dylan level. He was very successful, but he wasn't hugely famous. So he would play like similar places that I would frequent and play around, and I remember I was living in Austin at the time, and I tried to get a gig. He was playing a show, so I went to the people that I sort of knew. I was like, "Oh, let me open the show," and they're like, "We already got somebody for that." And then like 3 years later, he played in Santa Fe, and I knew the promoter, and I was like, "You gotta let me open this show," and I got to open for Greg Brown. What a night! That was a great night.
That's exciting.
And I remember, I can't remember if I've told this story before or not, but the stage was here, and then to the left of the stage was this door, and you went through the door and down these stairs, and down there was the green room. And I went up to Greg before my set, and I was like, please listen to my set. I really want you to hear my stuff, and 'cause you're a hero of mine, and yada yada. And he's like, I'll be right here. I'll listen. This is like the bottom of the stairs. So I went up for my set, and the door like would automatically close or whatever. And I was like, so I took like a coat or something and propped the door open, put my coat there. And then I went to start my set, and like halfway through the first song, somebody went over to fix the door. Like, why is that door propped open? And and I like stopped mid song. I'm like, oh, please leave that.
This isn't your house. Don't be messing with stuff.
please. Greg Brown's at the bottom of those stairs hearing my song.
Greg Brown's falling and he can't get up.
But he was so sweet. And then after my, I don't even know like what he thought of my songs necessarily, but he
Got a nice coat.
But all my friends came backstage right after my set, and the way they were proud of me and the way they were so happy for me, and they all knew that Greg Brown was one of my favorite songwriters. They knew it was a big night for me, and I think he gleaned from that how he felt about me. He was like, oh, this, all right. And I think he probably heard enough of my songs to know I didn't suck. And so he gave me his phone number. Oh, wow. And then every time the Amusement passed through Iowa, I would call him, and he met us every time.
That's so cool.
We met the first time. We met and had a drink at a bar in his town. And the second time, he took us out to breakfast at a Perkins. And all these fun stories about Greg Brown. His daughter ended up being an Amusement fan from the CD I gave him. He didn't like it, but his daughter loved it, so that endeared us to him. And
that's cool.
He was
Spring Wind.
Yeah.
What's the Spring Winds?
Blew my list of things to do away.
Yeah, I love that. I'm gonna try to live to another spring just to say that song.
Yeah, that was a great song.
Thank you, Greg.
Oh goodness, we did it again, folks. 8:29.
Well, I had something I wanted to talk about.
Dagnabbit.
Let it roll.
Try to get her in there.
I'll try to come back next year.
Well,
Next
you
time.
want to try to sneak it in at the
We
buzzer?
got time. Overtime. We're going into
I was
overtime.
just kidding. Actually, I did.
You do have your book.
I did bring something to read, but I can't read it.
I always get a little excited when you bring your book.
Well, this is not my book. This is a journal from 2008.
Wow.
And I saw, I couldn't remember what day your birthday was. I thought it was the 10th or the 11th. Turns out it was the 12th.
Yeah.
So I never get that right, so I should have known. But I went back and I was looking.
Boy, look at all those words.
And you should have a life. But I did find
Those are
this.
some pretty full pages I just saw. It looked like some prose.
I wrote a lot of really stupid stuff. A lot of stuff about getting old. This was in 2008. That's funny.
I wonder what it'll be like getting old.
No, I'm feeling old already. How old was I then? August. I got to get all the way back here. This is a poem. No, I don't know. It's not a poem. I don't know what it is. The 38th parallel on my son's birthday. I don't know what the hell that meant. But I wrote this. So I thought I'd read it to you. And then you could play a song.
I love it.
Oh, you are indeed a preacher, son. You are a preacher of the heart, a minister to the lonely. Your pews are bar stools. Your offering plates a tip jar on the way out. Your services, they called them fiestas. Your deacons are belugas. On Sunday, your choir practices are at Marino's. And on Sunday, while stuffed shirt wannabes read stories about an abusive father, you repeatedly espouse the other two, a Holy Ghost and a Son.
Wow.
And I wrote that.
I don't remember that. I've never
Yeah.
heard that before, I don't think.
That's just a
Beautiful.
little thing I wrote
That is beautiful.
back in 2008 after your birthday party.
Amazing. I don't think you ever shared that with me.
No, I just probably never shared it with anybody till right now. And there you go.
Wow. Before you were born, you had it all. All the love and riches in the world. Before you were born, you'd fly along the wind. And then you were born, now you want it all back again. Before you were born, you sang in tune, sat still as a stone, ran rings around the moon. You were quick as lightning above a riverbed. Then you were born, now you want it all back again.
Oh, sleeping on the job.
Before you were born, baby, you was free. Now you're chained to happiness and misery. Before you were born, you were without sin. Then you were born, now you want it all back again. Before you were born, you had no fear.
The sun was your smile, the rain was your tear. Nothing grew without the rain. Your smile had no end. Then you were born. Now you want it all back again. And then you were born. Now you want it all back again. Thank you. Nice playing, guys. Thank you all so much. We'll see you next
I
time.
think we stick some AI on that. We'll have some.
That's what I'm saying.
Sunday the
I was
12th.
hitting organs. I don't know, a little B3, a little Hammond, maybe a choir.
12:01, 12:01 p.m. Sunday.
Oh, steel guitar.
Get on your computer and your phone.
Yeah. Taffy, anybody? I'm so excited about this taffy. You haven't? Ooh, that looks like it might be some sherbety.
What is this stuff actually?
What is it, right? Sugar.
Is it Play-Doh with some sugar in it?
Sugar does weird things. You ever just put sugar in a saucepan and heat it up? You get caramel. I'm guessing you don't want one of these.
I don't need one now.
Oh, that's some good taffy.
This is good for when your teeth aren't so strong.
Yeah, I gotta get another one of them.
Pick a color that intrigues you. Was that like sherbet?
Man, get your whole mouth coated in that flavor.
I hope they don't sneak any like butter popcorn or fried chicken or whatever the
Why don't they put
what
weed?
Jelly Bellies do.
Why don't they make weed saltwater taffy?
Bet they do.
I bet they do. If they don't, they will now.
You can market them as saltwater Laffies.
Oh my God,
Saltwater laughing.
man! These people that are selling these